Welcome to Pulp Diction, the podcast where I talk about movies with my friends for an academic obligation. What's up, Emma Joe?
So
It's 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 been well over a month since I've done one of these. I'm so
that's
far
it.
behind. It's been I don't know how much longer than that since you and I have done one of these,
Oh God, I
especially on
know.
Zoom. So, but we're here.
Back at it.
We're back on the grind. Uh, we're gonna I don't know we were gonna do this last week, but then I was sick all week, and that was a whole it was a thing.
It's fun.
But it's fine. Are people getting sick over there at all? Or
Oh yeah, I was sick on Tuesday for like a day.
mm.
A lot of my sorority sisters are catching something. One of my sisters just got went to the hospital today for the flu.
Oh
So
dear, that's no good.
no, my roommate had the flu like 2 weeks ago, so I'm
uh,
stressed by it. But it's
well,
fine, it's fine.
it's fine. Everything's fine. And what what film are we discussing today? Or
We're
film?
about
I don't know.
gladiators.
Gladiator. And the plan was Gladiator 1 and 2, but I didn't watch Gladiator 2 because I didn't really feel like it.
Me neither.
We watched it together
Yeah.
at the cinema.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't feel like it warranted a
Its
second
own
watch.
episode. No.
Yeah. No, and like we can I don't know, we'll just see what happens. But I think the first one, there's just more to talk about,
Oh yeah.
and because it's just better, and it's not close. That said, I do not think the second one was bad. I
Mm-mm.
stand by that. I know some people were acting like it was the worst thing ever, and like after watching Gladiator, the first one again, I am a little bit like, okay, like they did do some things they shouldn't have done,
Yeah.
but
Like the whole him being his kid type thing. I
is
don't know.
yeah, that's a
It felt
little
weird to me, but
yeah,
also
that
made
didn't
sense, but also
entirely
didn't.
rub me the right way, but it didn't really rub me the wrong way. It's
Right.
just kind of okay, whatever. Um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like that kind of weirdly recontextualizes some things in the first movie,
Definitely.
but it's fine. And also like I feel like well, one of the whole big points of the first movie is like he's trying to make Marcus Aurelius's dream of Rome come true, right? And that's
Right.
kind of part of his sacrifice. And then you get to the second movie and you find out that that sacrifice actually did absolutely nothing.
Right. It was
And
like, yeah,
we
16 years in,
have these new
the
evil
dream is
emperors.
gone.
And also he's been like erased from history.
Right.
And it's a uh,
I think
yeah,
I like the whole like text in the beginning, reading that. I've never been more pissed off.
really.
I read that. I was like, so you mean to tell me he did all that and now it's just gone. All right,
Yeah, right.
cool. I was like, so we just gonna do it again? Is there gonna be a third and just gonna say that
And
was
it
the
pretty much
two?
was like a retread. Is there going to be a third? Oh, heavens. But yeah, it basically was just the first movie again.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know. Like, first time there was one evil emperor guy. Now there are two big evil emperor guys. And
Mm.
it's,
And
yeah,
not just evil emperors, they got the evil dude too.
yeah,
Denzel.
Denzel. He was cool. I liked him.
I did like him. The emperors were getting on my nerves the whole time.
Yeah, Gata and Caracalla, right?
I don't remember the other one. I know Gata is one, but I don't
Yeah.
remember the
But yeah, those weird pale faced gingers.
other.
But yeah, you mentioned the text at the beginning, and the
Hmm.
first movie starts with text at the beginning too.
Yeah.
And I quite liked that about it. I thought it was kind of Star Wars-esque, the opening title crawl.
Right.
Gives us all the context we need to just go into the story without wasting too much time on exposition.
Hmm.
Kind of, like Star Wars.
Yeah.
And yeah, I very much appreciate. That.
I love a good like text type thing and
Yeah.
opening. They're fine. Just the second one, it was
Yeah.
awful. It
Yeah.
was like, dude,
Absolutely. Yeah. When did Gladiator come out?
2000?
2000, around 2000, I feel like. This
Hold on.
sounds right.
It's
Uh,
on my top four letterbox, so I can
yeah,
check.
there you go.
It is 2000.
Okay, good stuff. How many times have you seen it?
I lost
'Cause-
count. I
okay,
watched it
I
so many
figured.
times.
I've seen it twice.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
so yeah, I have my first time was a lot more recently than it should have been.
Right.
It was mid last year, I believe. And
Yeah.
I have enjoyed it a lot. I think I appreciated it more on a second watch.
Hmm.
Not that I didn't appreciate it the first time. Of course I did, because it's
Right.
Gladiator, man. But yeah, Gladiator came out 2000, directed by Ridley Scott. Yeah, and Ridley Scott was your most watched. Well,
Somehow,
no,
it was
definitely not.
because
Well, because you said you didn't log any Christopher Nolan movies, even though you watched. But
it's
yeah,
because I'm really bad at logging in movies,
right.
but I got Letterboxd last year.
Mhm.
So obviously I logged the first Gladiator. I watched his Robin Hood movie and then I watched the second Gladiator.
Ah, okay.
Um, but yeah, for some reason he was my most watched. And I was like, okay, which, no
Which those
hate, but
of
it was
those
not
are
who I was
those like the
expecting.
only three of his movies you've seen?
It seems like
Interesting.
maybe, I don't know.
Because
I
he's
feel like
done a
I've seen
lot
others.
of stuff. You haven't seen Alien, have you?
No,
Blade Runner. Uh, shoot, what else has he done? Because
I'm literally looking up now.
yeah,
Oh, he did Napoleon.
he
I
did do
watched that.
Napoleon.
I don't know if I logged it or not, but
Was
that
it
was,
any? Did you like it?
we didn't even finish it. It was so bad. It was really funny though. Oh my God. We watched it over spring break, I want to say, last year. And because we were at the Davis's tech house
Mhm.
and we all were like, let's watch a war movie. We want something. And my dad was like, I really want to watch Napoleon because I've heard it's really bad. I kind of
Oh,
want to see if it's bad or not. I was like, okay. And it was terrible. And it cut to like the fifth sex scene. But
oh
we,
my
of course,
gosh.
had no idea it was coming up. But it was really funny because my mom is yelling at my dad, like, hey, turn it off. Why would you let us watch this? And then he's like, I didn't know.
That's awesome.
So funny.
No, my favorite thing is like people calling out all the historical inaccuracies in Napoleon and Ridley Scott just going, "Shut up, nerd.
Oh, I
You're
know.
you're a bunch of nerds. Stop complaining."
Yeah,
And
I
he
don't know
kind
what
of
to
takes a
figure out.
similar approach in the Gladiator
Gladiator
movies.
too. Yeah, he does. Which
Uh,
I laugh at the whole sharks in the water and
oh
like
my
in the
gosh.
Colosseum. I'm like, dear
It's
God.
ridiculous, but like you kind of have to a part of you at least has to love it, I think.
Hmm. Yeah, I only logged three of his movies, and apparently that was my most watched. And because I didn't want to like log every single movie I've seen in
Right.
my life. So obviously, if I did put in all those Christopher Nolan movies I've seen, I obviously would that would have been my number one.
You really think you watched that many just last year?
Oh yeah, oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I've
Like,
watched almost all of his movies. I think the only
wow.
ones I haven't seen is The Prestige and Tenet.
Really? Okay. I
I
like
need to
both
watch
of
them.
those.
I still need to watch them.
Wait, so you watched the whole Dark Knight trilogy?
Absolutely.
Oh man.
Those are good.
Great. Great films. Uh anyway, Gladiator.
Hmm. Right.
You said you watched this movie a countless amount of times.
Hmm.
And like what do you think it is that keeps you coming back to it so many times?
I love Roman history. So like, obviously is
The
not like the
Roman
most
Empire.
accurate thing, but still, it's just the whole
Right.
vibe of it. I love it. And I watched it literally while I was in Italy last summer. I was
Ah.
in Tuscany and we were on Netflix and I was like, you know what? I just saw the Colosseum yesterday. I'm gonna watch the movie with it.
Yeah.
You
It's the
know?
Colosseum. It's just like the movie.
Oh my God. But yeah, I don't know, it's just the vibe. I love old Italian history. I
Hmm.
literally got a book for Christmas on ancient Rome
Oh, fun.
because I have nothing. That's the only nonfiction book I have in my everything. So I was like, why not? I've only gotten to like 10 pages.
There you go.
But
Of how many?
no, like 300 something. Your average book.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And I love Russell Crowe in that
Oh
movie
yeah.
so much.
He
Like
does
his
such an
whole,
excellent job. Was he nominated for? I feel like he was.
I'm wouldn't be surprised, but I'd be really surprised if he
Gladiator.
wasn't.
Oh, what? He did win.
Oh, cool.
Neat. Good for him.
Yay.
Yeah, he did a great job. Maximus is such a great character.
He's so cool.
I mean, he's cool, he's kind. He
Hmm.
kind of like immediately uh endears himself to you.
Yeah.
But like you get this sense of respect too because the movie, I mean, it gets you right into it. They're preparing for this battle.
Yeah.
And he's here like touching his hands through the reeds or grass or whatever.
Hmm.
Just starting off right off the bat with that motif that continues all throughout of him kind of just feeling and touching things,
Right.
taking it all in. Uh, which I think is like supposed to be him con kind of connecting to his farmer roots, right?
Yeah. Hmm. It's
Uh,
also great with like the opening is like this huge battle scene and he's literally like the general. He's the main guy.
yeah.
And he has all these amazing lines like on my call or whatever, like raise hell type thing. And just like the way he's fighting like crazy. And after that, when he's talking with the
What
emperor,
we
just
do in
about how
life
much,
will echo in eternity.
yeah. Hmm.
There's
And just how he talks so much about like his love for his wife and his kids, and you don't even see them, but you're like, oh my God,
yeah.
he's a badass. He's a family man. Like, he's great.
Mhm. Yeah, what's not to
He's great.
like? What could
Right.
go wrong? This guy is
What
great, and
could
I'm
go
sure
wrong?
nothing bad will happen to him at all.
No, no.
Like, yeah, and he has this like moment of connection. He's like on a burnt battlefield.
Hmm.
He sees a bird on it and like it flies away. But I don't know,
Hmm.
I thought that was kind of a weird, not weird, but just an interesting little moment. I'm like, what does the bird mean? You know?
I don't even know. I think
But you
I
know what
saw
I'm
an
talking about
interview. I
though.
know exactly what you're talking about, but I saw an interview where it was like Ridley Scott was talking about that shot, and like that's like one of the
Really?
first ones they did.
Huh.
And instantly he knew like Russell Crowe was gonna be great. He's like, we did that
Ah.
shot, and I knew he was gonna be the guy. Like I knew I did it right.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because the whole movie, like doing so great with his emotions and stuff.
Hmm.
Like especially later on, when he does find his family and they're hanging up there, like you only get to see their feet, and
Craziest
he's
shot.
like going,
He's drooling. He's
he's
literally like snot's coming down.
drooling,
He's
snot's coming
messy,
out. It's like
sobbing.
just so raw and
Hmm.
just it's this visceral sort of emotion you only
Oh
really
yeah.
get from this higher caliber of actor, I guess.
Oh yeah.
That might be what won him the Oscar.
I think that, and I think his like little monologue of him revealing himself in the Colosseum, his little
My name
thing.
is Maximus Decimus
Oh, I love it
Murderous,
all the time. All the time.
husband to a murdered wife, father to a murdered son.
He was so casual. He was just like, yeah, you
Yeah.
kill my family. I'm gonna kill you. Don't worry.
I will have my vengeance in this life or the next. No, it's such a quotable movie. There's so
Hmm.
many good quotes. It's
Oh yeah.
so I always laugh at it too because uh so I watched The Sopranos last year,
Yeah, that's right.
and in one season there's this character Ralph Cifaretto, and
Okay.
he's just a total asshole. He's like genuinely the worst person in the world. And this
Hmm.
is in a show where everybody is like an asshole
Yeah,
gangster, like murderer. So he's like really bad. But he loved to just like quote Gladiator for
that's
no
true. Really,
reason. Yeah. Like
that's funny.
I don't even remember. One time he takes like something that's like swinging around like a spiky thing. I don't know, like a ball and a spike, and he's just swinging it around, quoting Maximus at the dude, and then he whacks him in the eye for
Oh my
no
God,
reason. It's awesome.
that's funny. But every time I do end up watching it, I can just like quote everything. It's
Oh, yeah.
such, it's such an iconic movie.
And again, the battle, he feels the dirt on the ground, smells it, takes it in. Just that
Hmm.
motif over and over again. I really like that. It's a very unique, like, way to, I don't know, show his character. He's a man
Yeah.
of the land. The music. Let's talk about the music.
Yes.
Hans Zimmer.
Oh my God. I'm gonna see
I
him
mean,
at the
I know you're not
Emmys.
like I know you're not like a huge Hans Zimmer fan or
No, just a,
anything.
I know him a tiny bit. Get this, before we talk about the actual movie. So I had my Wind Symphony like seating audition, right? And we were talking about what's going to happen in class. And he's like, yeah, and I got some movie music picked out. And I'm like, all right, so what are we doing? And he's like, so we're going to do two. He's like, one of them is just us band, and we're going to do a Wicked medley. So I'm like, okay. Like, he's like, from the Broadway movie. I was like, yeah. I was like, okay, cool. And
Oh,
then he's like,
that Wicked.
then that Wicked, yeah. And he's like, yeah. And so then we're also going to do one with the orchestra. So like combine like whole orchestra. He's like, and we're going to do Gladiator music. I looked at him and I said, "You shut the F
What?
up right now." And then like I screamed that. And he's like, he laughed so hard. I was like, "I'm so sorry. I just told you to shut up." Anyway, it's like that is my favorite movie. He's like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Don't even get me started." I was like, "I love it. I listen to the music every day. So good." But oh my God, literally my band, we're gonna be playing Gladiator, like the first Gladiator. Second Gladiator music was not that good. It was
It
all
was
right, but
not. No, who
mm-mm.
even? Yeah, like they
So his name, I can't remember. It's like William or Gregson something.
Harry Gregson Williams.
That's it. Harry
Okay.
Gregson Williams.
Yeah.
His only big thing was Narnia. He did
Really?
those.
Okay.
And he did amazing with that, but Gladiator 2 just did not hit
It was
with the story.
very, yeah,
I
very,
remember one scene in there where they're like overthrowing Rome and the music was just so calm. And I was like, no, this is not
yeah.
hit. Anyway,
See, I
but
don't
I oh
remember
my,
any of the music from Gladiator 2.
that
But yeah,
oh my God.
Gladiator soundtrack.
Yeah.
One of the many amazing aspects of this movie. I mean, it's sweeping, you know? It
Hmm.
has this epic sort of quality to it. Uh, that only someone like Hans Zimmer can really achieve.
I don't think
It's
anybody could have done it.
I thought it was very like Pirates of the Caribbean-esque and
There's
like
so many moments. Oh
you
my
can
God.
like yeah, you listen to it and I know this was obviously like 6 years before Pirates,
Hmm.
but like you're I'm listening to it and I'm like this is like I don't know, this is just so Black Pearl. I
There's a moment in the first scene, like the battle scene, where both of like the
yes.
armies are charging at each other, and it's like da 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 da
Yeah.
da. Like,
And I
that's
think
Pirates of the
that
Caribbean.
same music is going, or at least something similar when there's like the prison break or whatever,
Yes.
when all the
Hmm.
slaves are getting out. Yeah.
It's
And but
literally like
yeah, it's
copy
so
and paste.
Pirates-esque. And that's not a bad thing. Like if you
No,
know the
because it's
Pirates of the
great.
Caribbean soundtrack, you know that's
Hmm.
like the highest compliment ever.
Right.
But
I love that. The ending song is obviously perfect
oh
with like
yeah,
that singer. Oh my God.
yeah, it's
And
beautiful.
when he's like escaping, trying to like go back, where was he leaving? I think he was just trying to leave from being a gladiator altogether. Like that whole high tense scene was crazy.
Tell him I was recording.
You just get dinner.
Yeah, so.
There you go.
You gotta love the music. It's great. It's great. Um,
Hmm.
I there was this one line about like people not knowing when they're conquered, and I feel like that
Yeah,
kind of it echoes only just like minutes afterwards in this one dude who almost kills Maximus. Like the dude's
yeah.
literally on fire. He's dead meat, but he's still fighting. And I feel like
Hmm.
that's kind of a theme throughout the movie, like people who don't know when they're conquered. Himself is kind of a guy who doesn't really know when to quit because like everything's stacked against him. Especially in the final fight, like he's been stabbed.
Yeah,
He by all
right.
rights should be just collapsed and dead, but he keeps going and he's able to finish off what's his face? Joaquin Phoenix's character.
His name is weird. I can't remember.
Some
It's like,
stupid name for a stupid person, probably. Because he's stupid. Because he
no, I know
sucks.
it. Because he's weird.
Yeah. No, you know what will always
I
make me
got it. I
laugh
got
about
it.
this movie?
Oh, Commodus.
Commodus. There it is.
Hmm.
What will always make me laugh about this movie? Joaquin Phoenix, and who does such an amazing job. I mean,
Yes.
you hate him, you love him, you hate him, you
He's
love to
perfect
hate
though.
him. So
Right.
he does so perfectly.
Hmm.
Such a perfect little bastard. But my favorite thing is the fact that Johnny Cash, after seeing Joaquin Phoenix in this movie, was
Exactly.
like, I want him to be me.
He's me. That's me right there.
And like there's this clip of him on of Joaquin Phoenix on some talk show. I don't know if it's
Hmm.
Conan or what,
Hmm.
where he's telling the story where he's having dinner with Johnny and June.
Yeah.
And he says that Johnny said, "I love that line where you said, your your wife scream your son cried like a baby, a girl, and your wife screamed like
Mo
a whore as they
moan like
ravaged
a
her
whole.
again and again and again. I love that line."
Yeah. I want you to be me. What?
Yeah.
What? With that line? Okay.
Yeah, because Johnny Cash, I mean,
I
he's
mean, that's so Johnny
got a
Cash.
special place in my
Yeah.
heart. Rest his soul.
Oh my God, I know.
I side note, I loved Boyd Holbrook, his performance as Johnny in Complete Unknown, the new Bob
Still need
Dylan
to
movie.
watch that.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, it's
I heard he
amazing.
was great though.
He was insanely good.
Yeah.
Everyone in the movie was
Yeah.
Chalamet.
Their Chalamet
Anyway,
is actually going to get an Oscar anyway.
yeah, yeah. Some people are saying he should have been nominated for Dune instead of,
I don't know.
but which like he had two Oscar-worthy performances in the same year, which is crazy in and of
Hmm.
itself. But
Hmm.
in any case, Joaquin Phoenix is a great villain.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I do like the scene where he's kind of just he's sword fighting all those people in the middle of the forest towards the beginning. Uh,
Oh yeah. Hmm.
and then and it's definitely just a way for them to be like to show that he's what or to show how he's able to hold his own against Maximus like at all
Hmm.
towards the end. But uh, eh,
He was so weird. Like he's such a great character, but he's so like freaky the whole time, especially
he's
with the whole
so
his sister thing. Oh my
oh
God.
yeah,
And
it's
just
so
like
bad.
the amount of times where he's just staring at his nephew the whole time, watching him sleep. I was like, this guy's gonna kill the kid.
Yeah, no, he's such a psycho,
Hmm.
and he's like trying to do some weird stuff with his sister. And I think they like cut something going further with them two,
Oh God.
or they
Thank
were,
God.
or like they either filmed it and cut it, or they just decided not to film it.
Hmm.
Either way, I'm glad it didn't make it in.
Yeah, please, thank God. Because even
But
like the one scene where they're like laying in bed and he just instantly falls asleep, I was like, I get tense every time. I know
mhm.
nothing's gonna happen, but dear God, it's gross.
First time I
Nasty.
watched it, I'm like,
Right.
hmm,
But he's such a complex character because like you can see that he wants like his father's approval and he wants to have
oh
all
yeah,
this.
more
And
than
then his
anything.
father's like, he's like, nah. He's like, you kind of suck, dude.
Yeah.
Like Maximus is actually gonna take your spot. And oh my God, the way
Oh
he
my
just kills
gosh.
his dad like that, suffocating, hell no.
Hmm.
What? He's
And
such
he's
a
like,
ruthless guy, and that's what I think he's amazing, and that's what also makes the second one so much less because these emperors are just nothing.
uh-huh.
They were never there. Like
Like you
especially
hear,
Joseph Prince.
mhm. The thing about the bad guys in Gladiator 2 is you hear a lot
Mm,
about how bad they are and like how awful they're making Rome and
right.
how awful of people they are.
Hmm. But you're not actually seeing
But
it.
in Gladiator 1, they just show you how
Hmm.
bad he is, which is like
Right.
a cardinal rule of filmmaking is show don't tell.
Exactly.
And I don't know, I a lot of people have said Ridley Scott's kind of lost his touch in general over the years, and like maybe they're right. I
Mhm.
He has like definitely sort of maximized his output in a way because he's releasing 2, 3 movies a year,
Really?
which is
I haven't seen
absurd.
that.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, I don't know, because I even when I watched Robin Hood, and that's still Russell Crowe, it was kind of like, I don't know what this is.
hmm.
It was a mid movie, decent storytelling. I liked Oscar Isaac a lot in that movie, so that's why I kind of liked it. Rated a little like in the middle,
I don't know that I
but
saw
like
that one.
it's I don't know. It's like I said, it's an average movie.
Hmm.
It's nothing great, but I don't know.
When you said Robin
It felt
Hood,
like if Robin Hood is like I don't know what it was like 2013, I think is the year.
yeah,
Oscar Isaac's a baby in that, and
really?
he has weird contact lens like that make him
Oh,
blue-eyed.
oh no.
That's actually 2010, so it's 10 years after Gladiator. It's really funny too because like Russell Crowe's trying to have like the same voice kind of thing as he did in Gladiator. You can tell, and it's kind of like you're not hitting it, dude. It's not
Hmm.
good. But it was.
I I don't know how Robin Hood works as like an older character too. Because like,
Is not even the thing is, so this is actually supposed to be more of like the prequel, like before, like like the Disney Robin Hood, where he's robbing from them and then he helps the poor.
hmm,
Like this is like
like
he
origin
was
story,
in,
Robin Hood year one.
sure, it's like he starts from his origin story. He's in the army with King Richard, whatever the old dude was,
Yeah.
and yeah, he just tries to kill Oscar Isaacs, who's a prince. But
Hmm.
really, there's like war with the French going on, and now they're all like this whole thing. And there's like this dude in the middle who's like
I
intertwining
thought Robin
everybody.
Hood was French.
I don't know. I don't know. It didn't make any sense to me. And then what is her name?
Maid
I'm gonna sound
Marian.
like yeah, but the actress.
Oh.
It's Kate Blanchett. She was
Oh.
Marion. Yeah, it was a big cast. It had Russell
Yeah.
Crowe, Kate Blanchett, William Hurt, Mark Strong, Oscar Isaac, Matthew McFadden.
Oh.
It was crazy. Oh, and Mark Addy. He's in Game of Thrones. I saw him and I was like, oh my God.
Oh. Yeah. Robert Baratheon.
hmm He's Friar
Which
Tuck in that movie. I thought it was funny.
that's a good fit. That's a great fit. Which my
Oh,
friend is watching Game of Thrones right now.
mine is too.
Like he just finished season 3.
My
So
friend, she just
right
finished
after the
season
Red
one.
Wedding.
Oh my God, my
Uh,
friend was like, she was obsessed with Daenerys and Khal Drogo together. She's like, wait, they're kind of a power couple. I kind of love that. And I
uh,
was like, yeah, sure.
that's a take.
I know. And she was like, "Yeah, I love them. And she's like, and Ned Stark, he's my favorite. And I was like, yeah. And
Mhm.
she's like, does everybody go crazy in this show? Because I feel like that's what happens. I was like, oh yeah, they all go crazy. She's
Like,
like, but I feel like Ned, I think he's gonna be great throughout the whole show. And I was like, oh, he's
oh
best. He's like the
yeah.
best character the whole thing. She texts me the second she finished the season, and she's like, you're a liar. She's like, I hate you so much. She's like, both of them in one episode. How dare you? Anyway, but
Oh, they died in the same episode. I didn't even. Hmm.
I think it was either an episode or one episode after the
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
But it was like, yeah. But yeah, back to Ridley Scott. I feel like his newer stuff, not even just his newer stuff, because Robin Hood was 2010. I think it was after Gladiator. I haven't heard anything good about his movies. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that might have been the last, like, I guess, masterpiece you would say.
Yeah,
Although I actually I have heard good things about The Last Duel, but nobody saw that.
I
Um,
still want to watch that.
I do too.
I have never seen commercials, and that looked really, really good
I think
or
Kingdom
trailer
of
for it.
Heaven or whatever it's called is supposed to be really good,
Hmm.
which is another big like historical epic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I it's crazy to me because he was on this crazy run in like the late 70s, early 80s.
hmm
Because he did Alien, uh he did Blade Runner,
Yeah.
and which those two alone are just, and I feel like there's a third one that I can't think of off the top of my head. I'm gonna be really mad at myself later. But like just Alien and Blade Runner, two of my favorite movies of all time.
Great.
Just this crazy stretch making one after the other. I mean, he was. He was on some filmmaking demon time.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess he
I don't
got
know.
kind of
Yeah, like
caught
you
up.
said, his newer stuff doesn't hit. Like
Yeah.
he's out.
Uh, but you do have like moments of cool direction here, I think. Like I noticed as Marcus is giving Maximus like the offer, right, he wants him to be his successor and run Rome. They're in this tent surrounded by the busts of what I presumed were like previous rulers, like almost like they're kind of being watched by the ghosts of the past, I guess. And
Right. I thought that was funny that they had all these statues just like in
yeah, and especially the fact that it's like a tent, like they
right. Like
just
they're
take
gonna
all this
leave.
stuff, they set all this up for. I mean, he's the emperor, you know.
You need all those things, like us. But yeah. I wish we got like I honestly like I thought it was really good that they killed him off like early, but like kind of wanted to see a little more on Marcus. He was pretty cool.
Oh
Or
yeah,
not Marcus. Or is that
no, it's Marcus.
yeah, Marcus, okay. He was really, really interesting.
He was, yeah, and but yeah, that's a good point. Like, I like that too. How really just get straight into it.
Hmm.
They don't waste a whole lot of time. I think it's like half an hour in that.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, like he dies, and it sets up the whole rest of the thing. And it's this like tragedy about it, right? Like it could be so close to a happy ending so easily,
Right.
but he has to go tell Commodus about sorry, about how he's not giving him the heir. He's not going to be his heir.
Right.
And Commodus, being the psycho he is, has to be a baby about it. And uh, that too, when he's telling him that you have a bust of, I think it's Marcus himself. There's a
Hmm.
bust in there right behind Phoenix as he's like monologuing about how he's never been the son he wanted him to be.
Yeah.
He's crying. You've always seen me as a failure or whatever. Uh, and the bust all the while is like looking upon him, almost this disapproving face, like he's the ruler. He's the ruler that Phoenix could never be, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I thought it was really cool because like it like does like a kind of like going up to down, whatever shot, whatever, while he's literally killing the dad. This dude's
Mm.
just it goes straight to the bus, just staring at him. It's like, dude, doing the wrong thing, but all right.
Yeah.
Disappointed.
Disappointed. The scene with like the execution, the attempted execution is really cool. I think
Mm,
the action in the movie, I wasn't the hugest fan of a lot of the action the first time around.
really.
I thought the camera was too shaky. There were too many like rapid cuts. It was kind of hard to tell what was going on.
I
I
think
liked
that's
it.
just a him thing. I'm not gonna lie, because after watching that and then watching Robin Hood and then the second Gladiator, there's so many quick shots and action scenes.
Yeah, I had like that same issue with this action in Gladiator too, I thought.
Hmm.
But I feel like the second time watching it, I don't know if I got used to it or what,
Yeah.
but I thought it worked. It mostly worked a
Hmm.
lot better for me. Um, and a part of me thought that was like supposed to be kind of the point too. Like violence isn't supposed to be, I don't know, cool, I guess. It's supposed
Yeah.
to be kind of
Like
off-putting,
clean
kind of
and concise.
frenetic and
Yeah.
just crazy.
Right. Yeah, but the first one I'm more fine with,
Hmm,
obviously, because I've seen it so many times and it doesn't seem too bad.
totally.
But like when I saw the second one, I was like, this one just feels a little off.
Hmm,
But
yeah. And I do think it gets a little like it does get obviously get kind of over the top at times with like
mhm,
chopping stuff off and like I don't know, just some of the stuff that happens, but like I think it's cool enough for me to forgive it.
right.
Uh
I do like those like quick shots of like someone's hand. Like it will quickly go from action to action. All of a sudden, somebody's hand gotta get chopped off. So here's a really long minute shot or
oh yeah,
whatever.
it's great.
But
The gore in the movie is pretty cool.
I do like
Um
that. The
there is I
tigers in that one fight was funny to me.
Tigers, that was tense. I
Hmm.
liked that a lot. I loved the moment where he's fighting the one dude with the mask.
Yeah.
and like he's spitting out blood like through the mask.
Hmm.
It's so
That's also with the
gnarly.
tigers. Yeah.
Well,
I thought that was crazy.
did you have like a favorite like fight or action scene in the movie, do you think?
I don't know. I do love like the final fight scene,
Of
obviously.
course.
Like with, but
But the thing
I
is, I
think like
think
the big
that's
action
better.
scene I
That's
like.
good, like because of the emotional payoff, not the
Yeah.
action itself.
Hmm. I think for like action itself, I have to say the beginning battle, like literally opening.
Hmm.
I really really like that because
That's
like
fair. Yeah, no, he does such
like
a
it feels
great
long
job.
enough, but also like not too long
Yeah.
of a fight scene.
And
But
like
there's
it's
so
this
much happening.
huge battlefield,
Hmm.
but and it takes a very talented director to do this.
Right.
It's this huge battlefield. There's so much going on, but I
Yeah.
feel like he keeps a pretty focused frame
Hmm.
or like you're able to follow it pretty well. And like you can see, okay, this is happening now, this is happening here, this is
Right.
happening there. And like you have a good sense of what's happening, where it's happening.
Yeah.
And yeah, he does a great job with that.
Hmm.
I was a big fan of the fight where the chariots come out, you
Yeah.
know, and they he gets them all to work together.
That one's really good.
So I felt like all the setting this movie has a lot of different settings, right? Like it starts
Hmm.
in Germania
Hmm.
and he goes on his journey like back to the farm, then to
Yeah.
Zuckerbar,
Something
Zuckerberg,
that's weird.
and back to Rome. And like all these settings are almost like different chapters, I felt
Yeah.
like. And these different places all have like very distinct personalities, I felt like. Just I don't know, they felt very distinct and different from each other. And I
Hmm.
felt like that was one of the many things Gladiator 2 was kind of missing was like those
Yeah.
distinct personalities for different locations. I mean, did it even have that many locations? I don't even
It
remember.
had like I think it had three. It had its opening scene. I think it was trying to do like exactly the same as the first one. It had
Yeah.
the opening scene wherever they started. Like theirs was Germania. I have no idea where the second one first started in. And then the second one was where he was like in his little like not training, but like his camp thing. Same with the second one. And then they both end up in Rome for the rest of the time. Um, but I have no idea. The first one I do like it's kind of like you said, it feels like chapters because I do think like each one like the first place lasts like 30 minutes, the second place lasts around like 20 maybe 30 minutes, and then the rest is just Rome. And I always know exactly how much time left I have in the movie by each like place and what exactly scene I'm on. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I can finish this movie. I got like 30 minutes left or whatever. But with like Gladiator 2, it just felt everywhere. I don't know. Like it was only like the three settings, but it just didn't feel like precise. Like there's a one random scene in the second one where Denzel like wins a house off a guy from the bet. That just felt really random to me. And like I had no idea where they were at, like where in Rome and why it was a nice place that he won it. Or running out, they kept running to that camp that was coming outside of Rome. I don't even know. That felt weird to me too. But overall, that one just felt like very like you have no idea where you kind of are when even
Hmm.
in Rome, you just
And
didn't know
like
exactly. But when in the first one, you know you're either at the Colosseum or like wherever Commodus and his sister stayed. Like that was it.
and like you mentioned, it was kind of just like trying to go over the same steps as the original just for the
Yeah,
sake of retrying the original. Whereas when the original was doing it, it felt like it was going to these different locations, for the sake of the story,
right.
rather than just to go to different locations.
Mhm.
And like, which didn't even really feel all that different, mind you.
Yeah,
Like I said, in the first one, they all have these like distinct personalities, I thought.
yeah. And like even like the who's I don't remember the guy's name, but like the guy who like bought Russell Crowe, like his like house, like
Hmm.
his little plantation thing, whatever, in Rome or wherever it was, like that felt like a solid place too. But like in the second one where it's Lucilla and like Pedro Pascal's house, I have no idea where they were at or how close they were to Rome. Like
Right. Which I did like Pedro Pascal's character was
Oh my
probably
God.
my favorite
I
thing
think he was
about
the only one I
Gladiator
liked.
2. I
I
thought
liked
he
him a
should have
lot.
been the main character,
Hmm.
but also he was kind of just like Maximus again.
He was,
Um,
yeah, because he was kind of like,
he was the general, he was respected by
yeah,
everybody.
hmm,
He tries to start a rebellion.
yeah. And like, I don't know, the whole like him marrying Lucilla and like being like the stepdad general type thing felt funny to me, but it's also like he's like literally trying to be Maximus.
Yeah.
But I wish, man, I was so upset when he died. Like,
Oh
spoiler
yeah.
alert, but like, god
Yeah,
damn.
right.
I remember I was in theaters. I was sitting next to Ellie and I think Edith Ann. And when he got shot by the first arrow, I jumped. I was like,
Oh,
there's no way. And then
yeah.
like 18
'Cause he
more
was
come at him.
pin-cushioned, man. It was
Oh my
bad.
God.
Ugh.
Edith Ann leaned over to me. She goes, maybe he's still alive. And I was like, don't even. Don't give me hope.
She's funny.
Oh my God. I was so shocked though. I was like, there's no shot that just happened. He was
Yeah,
such a good character, man.
he was
And I
awesome.
think he was the only one with like a really cool story
Hmm.
with being the general and how he didn't like being the general and doing all these things.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. And then, but the other ones, like they were just whatever. Like Paul Mescal's character, obviously he was fine. He was the main character. But like even like Lucille, like she was just there. The emperors, I didn't like them at all. Like
Mm.
I like Joseph Quinn more than the other one,
Yeah,
like
same.
Greta, but like still there's no story. Like we just knew we weren't supposed to like these guys. But like how come? You know? Like
Yeah,
we didn't like Commodus for millions of reasons and we saw it. There was nothing for Gladiator 2.
right.
No.
Yeah, it's
That's what pissed me off so much.
uh, it is what it is. It could have been a lot better, but I also think it could
Mhm.
have been a lot worse.
It
Um,
definitely could have been worse. It could have been complete shit, but
yeah,
it's still
but
fine.
it was like
I rated like
fine.
3.5 or 4 stars.
Yeah, it was
So,
very okay. I gave it a 4, but like I could
mhm.
definitely bring it down at least half a star.
Right.
Oh, so my favorite one of my favorite things, maybe my favorite thing about Gladiator is kind of I've at least I felt like it was sort of a meta commentary on like entertainment in
Hmm.
society and like just the role that kind of plays. Because
Right.
like that's the whole reason Commodus is able to maintain his power, right? Is he keeps the people happy with the games of the Colosseum.
Yeah.
Like someone says the bleeding heart of Rome is not the mob or the Senate, it's the sands of the Colosseum. He'll bring them blood and death, and they will love him for it.
Yep.
So he's able to use entertainment, right, to keep his hold on things, to keep the people happy.
Hmm.
So they like him. And the crowds themselves, I feel like, are almost a character. Like they have personality, they have wants,
Hmm.
like they want to see blood and violence.
Yeah.
And when they cheer, we cheer. When they boo, we kind of boo. That
Hmm.
sort of deal. Uh, is they're a mirror held up to the audience, I think. Like they crave violence, and let's face it, we, the viewers, love to see some good violence and
Oh yeah.
blood and
Hmm.
gore. I mean, you have these scenes though where Maximus like spites the crowd. He makes quick work of
Yeah.
his opponents. He gives them that death that they're craving.
Hmm.
Are you not entertained?
Yeah. Right.
Chucks his sword at them. He literally spits at their feet, and they
Yeah.
love him for it.
Hmm.
Because the people love a bad boy, right? A rebel,
Oh my
and
God.
that because they're a very like I don't know, they're very what's the word fickle. Their opinions on somebody can change like that. I mean, you see in the fight with the one gladiator who comes out of retirement to fight Maximus. They're like cheering for him, and then by the end they're cheering for Maximus to kill him.
Yeah.
And then Maximus doesn't kill him, and they cheer anyway.
Right.
They cheer when someone shows mercy, and they cheer when somebody doesn't. They love to see they love
They're
to
just
see
there.
gore. They love to
Just
see a good
there.
story.
Hmm.
And you see the power that the crowds have.
Yeah.
like win the crowd and you'll win your freedom. So he has this goal of winning the crowd, giving them something they've never seen before. Yeah, we're cheering for death and gasping and screaming, clapping for blood. Like they kind of worship it. It's almost their religion, which somebody says like red is the color of the gods.
Mhm.
Like the people actually just worship violence and blood, you know? Yeah, I don't know. That's just what I've always loved about this movie. It's just kind of what I feel like it's saying about how entertainment can do that. Because, like, I feel like you see that kind of in movies and TV and whatnot, like how that affects the people and how what it does to the people. I don't know how their mindsets are shaped by entertainment and they impart that onto whatever authority figures.
Yeah. No, there's like I'm in some comm theory class and there was one I was literally just talking about the other day. There's some theory about how like whatever you watch like affects like how people think in like the real world
Mm.
or affects their mood, you know?
Right.
Like think like genuine sports like football or
Mm.
like whatever.
Which
It's
game's
like
happening right?
Gladiator
I'm
is
gonna
like
check the
literally
score
there.
actually.
I was just about to check the score like I swear to God, if the Chiefs, I'm actually be so mad.
I'm gonna cry.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
If it's an
21,
Eagles Chiefs
22.
Super Bowl, I'm gonna scream.
I swear to God. I was so mad with that game.
Hmm.
Anyway, but like yeah, I think like football. Like if your team wins, you get so happy for the rest of the day. If
Yeah.
your team loses, you're mad at it for the rest of the day. Or like TV shows. Like if your favorite character dies, day ruined.
Talk
It's
about
week
Game of
ruined.
Thrones.
Literally Game of Thrones. Like anything. I remember, or like video games. Like oh my God, like The
Uh,
Last of Us.
Last of Us,
I
Red
couldn't talk
Dead.
to anybody for 2 days and straight. It was bad. And so like it's like, yeah, it's that movie and like with Gladiator, it literally reflects it's us. It's like anything. It's not just it's any form of entertainment,
Mhm.
even like with reality, like people's opinions on politics.
Oh
Like
yeah.
if you like this guy and he won, you're gonna have a great rest of your life. If you like this guy and he lost, you're gonna have
And
to
like, how
bad.
many people's political opinions do you think were influenced by like celebrity endorsements too?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
oh, this person said this person, so I like this person, you know?
Oh my God. I remember whenever I was endorsing people and I was
Oh
like,
my gosh, I'm
are
glad
y'all
that
like it's
I'm glad
crazy because
campaign
like
season's
some people
over.
are like, oh my God, I know. Like people are actually like relying on their favorite celebrities' opinions. And I'm
No,
like,
it's
hold
absurd. Like,
on. Like some of my favorite celebrities are on the opposite party of me, but like I'm not over here
yeah,
like
I'm not gonna throw
hating
a
on them. Like
yeah.
I remember, oh my God, I remember when Taylor Swift made her big old post and everyone's like, finally. And I'm like,
I actually thought that might have won Kamala the election when that
I mean,
happened.
I think it helped her a
It
lot,
definitely
but like
did.
still, Jesus. I don't know, but like, yeah, it's like with reality, but also what's on like our entertainment, sports and shows, movies, everything. Like it affects us so much. And I don't know why it does, but just that's just how it works. It's our mindset, and
Mhm.
it's a sad mindset to be honest, but it just happens. Nothing you can do to change it,
No.
honestly.
I mean, like I said, sorry.
You're fine,
Like I said, the crowds are fickle, they're dumb,
right?
and they're, they're bloodthirsty,
Hmm.
literally and figuratively.
Yeah,
So, I mean, the thing that you can really do is like manipulate them where you can and like make them happy
right.
where you can't. Because, I mean, they have the potential to really make some change. Like they save Maximus's life because he could,
Hmm.
when he does reveal himself, Maximus, he takes off his mask and Commodus could very well kill him right then and there.
Right there.
Movie's
Hmm.
over. But the crowd is cheering for him to live,
Yeah,
right? They save his life. Like they're the only reason the rest of the movie's able to happen because
exactly.
Commodus understands like how important it is to keep the people happy.
Yeah, because if he killed him right there, they probably would have rioted and probably would have killed Commodus.
Oh
Like
yeah,
really anyone.
absolutely. And all the stuff like on stage in front of the people, I love, of course, and I felt like that was kind of another thing kind of missing from Gladiator too. But all the stuff like behind the scenes, sort of like
Mhm.
the quiet conversations, the political drama, I thought was almost
Mhm.
Game of Thrones-esque, and I
Yeah,
thought that was awesome, like suspenseful, intriguing.
I followed it so easily with the first movie. In the second movie, I just remember being so confused what half the time what Denzel was talking about. I was like, what is going on?
Right.
He like literally like, oh, who was it? The guy who bought Maximus. He felt very much like Varys to me in Game of Thrones.
Hmm.
Like he's
I get
sneaking
that.
around, he's talking with everybody, but he's helping out the whole time. Like you don't know if you like him or not.
Hmm.
But with Denzel, like in the second one, you kind of know he's a little shady and ends up being the bad guy. So it's like, it's obvious. But I liked it a lot in the first one because like each character was so different.
Hmm.
But the second one, like I felt like everybody was just like, what their plan is type thing.
Yeah, the second one definitely didn't have the I guess the depth of characters that the
Mhm.
first one did, with like maybe the exception of Pedro.
I
I
think he was, like I said, I think he was the only good character. Like really.
Yeah, which I love Denzel again, but and his performance was great, but
I don't know.
I don't know. You can only do so much with like eh, sneaky
There
conniving
was
guy.
so much, right. There was so much cut off from the movie, apparently. Like so much deleted
Really?
scenes. I think they have like an hour and a half of film cut out.
Is he talking about releasing some director's cut or something like he did for
Some I know some
Napoleon?
of the scenes are released, but they cut an entire character out.
Oh,
Like
really?
and so I don't know, but this one I think actually helped it. I think if she was in there, it would have made it a little weirder because like Lucius's whole thing was his wife got murdered
Yeah.
and in front of him, and he was wanting to kill Pedro Pascal the whole time because of it.
Mhm.
Um, this character that they had, this girl, she was like some weird, like kind of love interest thing. Like he meets her at like the first time he kind of fights in front of the emperors, and he meets her there, and they have like a weird thing. And they have a few scenes together, and I think he ends up like falling in love with her or something. But I'm like, that doesn't make any sense at all. Don't know why you had that to begin with, because that just makes his whole character just change. Like he's literally like the whole movie is him wanting revenge for his wife's death. Why would you just replace her like that? So they have like that whole character. They have a lot with like Pedro Pascal and his wife's relationship. I think that would have been really cool, like seeing like their dynamic. We
Okay,
literally
yeah.
only got like two scenes of them, two or three scenes. And I mean, the first time you see that when we find out that they're married, I think was nice. Like they have their little moment. But like there's a scene of them where like he's dead and she goes and sees his body and she's just distraught. She's upset and everything like that. And some other scene of just them together. And I think that could have helped it a lot. And I think they just cut off so much that it felt like these characters just had no emotion half the time.
Mhm.
Like they clearly had some emotion in some scenes, but like no depth.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. This one was
Yeah,
like Gladiator 2 was lacking a lot.
it
So,
was. Whereas, like, the first one is very streamlined. Like, I feel like
mhm.
everything is very intentional, very deliberate.
Yeah,
Just all these decisions that are made have some purpose behind it, you know?
yeah, exactly.
And yeah, it makes a wonderful, wonderful movie that,
Hmm.
I mean, I will definitely be watching many more times over the years.
Great.
Uh, I have gone over all my bullet points.
Mm,
Oh, I think I like didn't take a crazy amount because I was just watching the movie.
yeah. I mean, really, there's nothing to like critique about it. It's like the first one, it's a good movie. That's
It's
it.
and it's amazing.
All you need to know.
Yeah. Would recommend if you somehow
Yeah.
haven't seen it. I mean, do you have anything else you'd like to mention about Gladiator?
I don't know.
'Cause
I'm trying to think.
I'm drawing a bit of a blank.
Yeah.
Hmm. And I'm rusty in my podcasting skills on account it's been a month
Been
and
like
a
months.
half since the
My
last
God.
episode, at least.
I don't even know how
and
long it's been
slacking.
for me. I'm
Yeah. Yeah, because what was the last one we did? Was
lucky. We did Goodwill Hunting.
did do Goodwill Hunt. That
I
must have been
think
it.
that was over Thanksgiving break. Oh my God, it's been since November for me.
Oh my golly.
Oh
But
my
yeah,
goodness.
hopefully I'll be back on the grind. I'm thinking I got some episodes I was thinking about. Might see if someone wants to do a Captain America one before the new.
Oh, I'll do that if you want.
Yeah.
I got
Which
nothing to do.
which do you have are you gonna see Captain America for?
I don't got any Valentine's Day plans. Wait, I don't know if you've
Amen.
heard. I don't know if you've
Oh,
heard, but I broke up with my boyfriend.
yeah, I kind of put that together after the Snapchat like men are the worst
Oh yeah,
stories
it
or
was really fun.
whatever.
I actually put that up before I broke up with him. It was really funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry.
I got some lore drop, but I won't put that on the podcast.
Yeah, that's for after recording.
I
That's
might go see that. I don't know.
that's
Depends
funny.
on how busy I
That's fine.
am.
Yeah, hey, I mean, stuff is it's a big year coming up for
Oh,
movies, TV, because we got Daredevil in March,
oh my
got
God.
Superman in July.
Dude, I'm actually really excited about that.
I'm
I
so
saw that trailer
excited.
and that looked really good.
I
Uh,
I've been watching Smallville. I don't know if you've heard of that.
mm-mm.
Um, which is it's this like early to mid. It started in like 2000 or 2001 and it ended in like 2010. And it's about Clark Kent before he became Superman, like when he was growing up.
Mm,
And it's like the most pulpy, campy like show, like early 2000s show ever.
right.
And but it's awesome. I mean, it's a CW show, or it became a CW show eventually. It started before the CW was a thing.
Gotcha. The Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four, I'm very intrigued to see how that is.
I'll watch anything with Pedro Pascal. So,
True.
oh my God, the Formula One movie.
Oh yeah. Who's directing that? Was
Formula
it
One movie
Mang? It's not
directed by
Mangold.
the same guy who did uh oh, it's Joseph Kosinski. He did Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
And
that should
it's
be.
composed by Hans Zimmer. So
Mmm.
my kind of movie. It's Formula One,
Oh,
Top
is
Gun
it?
Maverick director, Hans Zimmer. Ugh, that's
Wow.
my movie.
It's like a. No.
Oh my God, and How to Train Your Dragon. I'm going.
Oh
That's
yeah.
my movie of the year.
When is that?
Formula One, How to Train Your Dragon. That one's June? June or May? June, July.
Jeez, big summer. My gosh.
Mm-hmm.
You
Oh
know
my.
what? I wasn't all that excited for Thunderbolts,
It
but
looks pretty good.
yeah, no, I found out it was written by the same writers behind The Bear.
You're
So,
kidding.
yeah,
Oh, I'm excited now. That is also a thing. New season coming out in summer.
that's right. Tucker and I need are almost caught up on it.
Oh, what season are you on?
We're on like the latter half of season 3.
Okay.
We keep watching
Season
it in
three is
like
not it's
bursts.
season three is a good one. It's not my favorite, but I like
Yeah.
it.
I think the first one's still my favorite.
hmm I'm on my rewatch. I'm watching the second season right now.
Nice.
Henry
Okay.
Cavill's a good actor. He's one
Which
of my favorites.
I just rewatched Man of Steel for the first time since I was like 10,
Oh,
12. I don't know. Like I'm like, maybe I've given it a bad rap all these years. Maybe I ought to give it another chance.
yeah. And what'd you think?
I think I would have thought it was really cool when I was 13.
Right. Because now it's like, oh, okay. I
Oh,
watched it like first semester freshman year, and I was
oh,
like,
did you?
I did.
Oh.
I used y'all's like, your
It
Voodoo
has
account. I was watching it. I was
moments.
like,
It has
okay.
moments I like,
I
but
like
like
Henry Cavill as
I
Superman, but
love Henry Cavill as Superman. But
altogether, I was like, eh.
here's the thing. So Henry Cavill, I mean, undeniably, I feel like he has this presence just that he
Mhm.
casts as Superman, right? Like he, I mean, he walks onto the screen in that suit, and you're like, holy crap! I mean,
Right,
that's Superman. But David Corn Sweat he walks up on as Superman, and he looks like the kind of Superman that I would like to receive a hug from. And
right.
cool Superman and huggable Superman, I will choose huggable Superman every day of the like he is my favorite superhero of all
Hmm.
time. And like he just he should be a friendly guy.
Yeah,
A friendly, huggable guy. Like I would love to get a hug from David Corn Sweat Super. I mean, I'd love to get one from Henry Cavill, you
right.
know? But
Don't get me
like
wrong.
Corn Sweat looks more like you'd be more willing to give it give it out.
He seems genuine. Like he's funny. He looks like a good Clark Kent too. Like
Does. Oh my gosh.
I was saying I was excited for it, and my mom was like, "No, give me Henry Cavill." She's like,
Ah,
"He's hotter," and I was like,
it's
"Okay."
it's
I was like, "David
over.
is
Let
cute.
it
He's
go.
adorable." I was like, "He's a nice one. He looks like he can just talk with the people, and people won't be like terrified of this dude."
Yeah.
But no,
No,
I
I
liked him
everything I
in
have
Twisters.
seen.
So,
Oh yeah, he was fun in that. No, everything I've seen of the movie, like just I keep getting excited for it. Like even
mhm,
down to these like leaks behind the scenes of clips of like children coming to him and like embracing him and
right.
it just makes me happy and I'm
Hmm.
very excited. And hopefully the DC universe does not fail right off the bat. We'll,
I don't know, James
we'll
Gunn
see.
got it.
We'll see. In James Gunn we trust.
Oh my goodness.
But Gladiator, great film, wonderful
Mhm.
historical epic, tragedy, commentary on entertainment and
Yeah,
stuff. And would recommend. Gladiator 2, not as good.
not as much. It's all right.
But like if you like Gladiator, go ahead, check it out. Why not? Just don't get your hopes too high up.
No.
And remember to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube.
Follow on
Follow on
Spotify.
Spotify.
I got
Uh,
two people to follow on Spotify. It's really funny.
hell yeah, dude. That's awesome.
I was talking about it at a frat party,
That's
and they were like,
great.
"Oh my God, what?" And they instantly went on, and I was like, and I
That's
pressed
so
record them,
funny.
and I was like, "There you go."
That's so funny. No, I have been shocked by like the reach of Pulp Diction sometimes.
Really?
Like, dude, I was at my school's homecoming and like some kid comes up to me and he goes, "Are you Pulp Diction? Are you Pulp Diction?" And I'm like, "Yes.
Yeah.
Hello? Who is this? Who whose baby brother is this?" I Because like the freshmen these
That's
days, I
so
tell you
funny.
what, they're
Oh my God,
getting tiny.
tiny.
But
That's amazing.
like some and like I'm having lunch with these people this one time
Mhm.
and I'm sitting across from this one dude I've never spoken with before. He just goes, "So, how does one get on Pulp Diction?" I'm
Oh my God.
like uh uh ask, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah. What you
Yeah.
know, whatever happened to hi, how are you? My name's Dylan. What's your name?
Hmm.
I don't know. It's funny though. I appreciate the love.
I promote it as much as I can. It's really funny. I was like, you
uh,
don't have to. I was like, but it was so funny, dude. I was not okay.
that's
And I'm at
awesome.
this
I need to start
party,
plugging
and
it more.
I was at my like I was with these guys, and I can't even remember. We were just talking about movies. We were talking about Gladiator also. So
Oh
that's the
heck
funniest
yeah.
part. And I was like, yeah, it's on my like number 4 on Letterboxd. And they're like, what's Letterboxd? And
What's
I
a
was like, hold
letterboxed?
on.
Ooh,
I was like, it's amazing. And I showed them and I was like, yeah. And they're like, so you like really like movies? I was like, oh yeah. I was like, I got a podcast with my friend. And they're like, you have a podcast? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, look up Pulp Diction. And they're like, what does that mean? And I'm like, it's just Pulp Fiction replaced with a letter. It's nothing crazy. And literally both of them were just like looking at it. And I was like, and they're like, who's that dude? And I'm like, that's my
it's
friend.
me.
I
It's
was like, it's
me.
his. I was like, I'm just sometimes on there. And they're like, oh my God. I was like, yep, there you go. There you
Which
go.
I was about that dude. I was talking with some of my friends. They didn't even realize like that I was doing the pose from the Pulp Fiction poster. They just thought I
Yeah,
did that.
that's so funny. I love that.
And they're
It's
like
like, yeah,
film people too. Like they should have recognized it.
right.
I thought so anyway. In any case, thank you for listening and or watching. I'll catch you on the flip flop.
Oh my God.